Bertrand Russell's Ideas That Have Harmed Mankind. Critical appreciation. Ideas that have harmed mankind dwells on the theme of most of the human ills being self-inflicted rather than visited upon mankind by nature, and maintains that evil passions have taken the aid of dogmatic ideas to plague mankind. Broadly speaking, human misfortunes are of two types: those which human beings themselves inflict on one another, and those which are inflicted by non-human environment. With the progress of mankind, it is the misfortune of the second type which form a larger percentage of the whole. Russell is of the view that the misfortunes which people inflict on each other and also upon themselves have their main source not in ideas or beliefs but in evil passions. Ideas are seldom directly responsible for evil which are humanly inflicted. The progress of knowledge and technique have enabled man to deal with national misfortunes better, but the misfortunes which are inflicted by human beings themselves upon others have been steadily increasing. Say, for example, a terrible famine nowadays may be caused by a natural calamity, but the misery caused by it is largely because of human greed, indifference, or inefficiency. Russell thinks that the misfortunes which matter most are on the whole those caused by human stupidity, malevolence, or both. Russell then examines several harmful beliefs which have arisen from evil passions in man. One of the chief destructive passions is cruelty and enjoying the sight of the sufferings of others. It is Russell's thesis that opinions which justify cruelty are inspired by cruel impulses. One example that he cites in support of his thesis in the initial opposition to the use of anesthetics, which still lingers some quarters. At first, they were opposed as an attempt to interfere with God's will. Later on, exception was made on the plea that the biblical account of God's taking out a rib out of Adam's body to fashion Eve admits the possibility of some sort of anesthetic having been used. Although it is true that ideas have less to do with human cruelty than evil passions have, it is nevertheless true that ideas and beliefs have played a great role in delaying the emergence of sensible changes of opinion and of influencing people in the direction of wrong action. Among harmful ideas, religious beliefs appear to Russell to be the most important. Many of these beliefs were pure superstitions, as people were always afraid about what happens after death, but these fears were accentuated by Christianity. A variant of this fear was the practice of asceticism, which was believed to be a sure way of attaining heaven. Asceticism produced its own cruelties, have been replaced by newer form of cruelty. Nazi dogmatists induced fanatics to lead lives of self-denial in the belief that they were thereby making the state strong. Guns rather than butter remained the slogan of the Germans even after they achieved power. Unlike the psychoanalysts, Russell does not believe that feeling of sin is innate in humanity, but he does think that feeling of sin is imbibed by every man early in the infancy. Many other harmful ideas arise or get connected with human frailty of self-conceit and self-importance. Russell gives the example of a herd of cows which scatter away in terror at the approach of a train. If we had a metaphysician among the cows, her thought would have been that everything in the universe has reference only to her own desires. The argument that the train has no intention of leaving the track is not going to impress the cow. She would be unable to imagine a train or anything else which is neutral with respect to herself, wishing to do her neither good nor ill. Human beings also think in the same way in their all affairs. False logic is another basis of harmful ideas, as theologians are bewildered by the fact that misfortunes often engulf the wholly virtuous. Demonology came into being on the basis of the belief that the misfortunes that befall human beings are the result of deliberate malevolence on the part of some supernatural creatures. Therefore, the Inquisition punished not only to witches but also to those who did not believe in the existence of witchcraft. Envy is another human feelings which fasten its hold on certain ideas in order to find a safe channel of expression for itself. People magnify the income of their neighbors and then bring against them the charge of meanness. Men like to talk often about jealousies of women, but they are not less jealous among themselves. The promotion of a colleague seldom to bring out outbursts of jealousy. Similarly, the idea of economic nationalism is the cause of many evils that beset the world. Pride is another evil passion which leads to many widespread evils. Pride is not merely personal but extends to sex, race, nation, class, creed, etc. British national pride has made it a corollary for every Englishman that their enemies, the French, for centuries and after World War I, the Germans, are poor human beings. Russell quotes the amusing example of pedigree bulls who are described with reference to the milk-yielding qualities of their female ancestors. Anatomists claimed to find proofs of male superiority in intelligence on the basis of the study of human brain, but their arguments were proved hollow. The notion of male superiority has made the unfortunate result of turning the beautiful relation of marriage into that between the slave and master. Thus, this idea has proven harmful for mankind. One of the most dangerous among harmful ideas is the delusion of being the chosen instrument of God's will. The Romans thought that they were destined to conquer the world. Muslims had the belief that every one of their soldiers who was killed in battle went straight to heaven. Cromwell maintained that he was the divinely appointed instrument for punishing Catholics and malignants. Marxists in our own day behave as though they were God's chosen instruments. All forms of absolute certainty have harmed mankind, and the belief in the divine mission is only one of them. It is hazardous to predict the future even a decade ahead. and presumption of knowing God's purpose is scandalous. In saying so, Russell does not forget that he himself also has been guilty of making some gloomy prophecies. In addition to moral remedy of controlling evil passions, there is also the need of employing social science in the service of humanity. Already, some economic principles have been derived which can help to prevent the sort of large-scale unemployment which took place after world wars. Russell believes that politicians have made very little practical use of social science. Failure to do so has been attributed by some to democracy, but Russell does not agree with this. However, Russell points out that belief in virtues of democracy is not the answer to all ills. He thinks, nor is the democracy the best system of government always and everywhere. The world of today needs two things: the organization and moral qualities. Political organization should lead to the elimination of wars. Economic organization can increase productivity, while educational organization should lead to the emergence of a sane feeling of internationalism. There must be realization, both moral and intellectual, that mankind is all one family and that the ruin of one part of humanity will never permit the others to enjoy real happiness. To pen off, ideas that have harmed mankind is a sequel to the ideas that have helped mankind. Russell's aim in both the essays is the same, namely to plea against superstitions and irrationality, and in favor of tolerance, charity, and liberal outlook on life. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Share with your friends, comment below for your suggestions. Thanks for watching.